Hello, and thanks for using TickBoom, a free service that helps high school students with their math problems. For this video, I'm continuing to look at this question 12. In a prior video, I just worked through 12 part A. So now I'm going to take a look at 12 part B, which says if x squared plus y squared equals a squared plus b squared equals 1, prove that the absolute value of ax plus by is less than or equal to 1. And I must admit, I went down quite a few rabbit holes on this question. As I mentioned in the last video, I started thinking that to get to this part B, you had to rely on part 1. So I kind of started trying to manipulate something being less than the square root of 2, and then trying to show that that would also be less than 1, but no success on that front. Whole bunch of different approaches that I tried, and at first it wasn't looking too good. Actually, after spending quite a few hours thinking about this, I kind of just called it a night and went to bed. And as is often the case, I just kind of woke up out of nowhere and had this light bulb moment. And so I just got up and went to my desk and started working through it from this idea that I had. And in the end, it did work. It got to the result. So that's the result I'm going to show, the approach that just came to me in the middle of the night. I still think there probably is another way to do this, a way that might make use of part A. Often these questions are written in a way that build upon each other. I mean, it's not necessarily the case, but that's my instinct. So I'd be welcome to hear from anyone else who has ideas on other ways to do this, but what I'm going to show you is the approach that just kind of came to me in a light bulb moment. So what we're told is that for this part B, if x squared plus y squared equals a squared plus b squared equals 1, then we want to prove that the absolute value of ax plus by is less than or equal to 1. And it's this cross-multiplying that made this tricky, because the triangle inequality, I kind of did start by saying absolute value of ax plus by must be less than or equal to absolute value of ax plus absolute value of by, but from there I kind of kept hitting walls. But the thing that came to me in the middle of the night, the light bulb moment I had, is that if x squared plus y squared equals 1 and a squared plus b squared equals 1, then if you multiply them, the result will also be 1, since 1 times 1 is equal to 1. So what I can start from is that x squared plus y squared times a squared plus b squared must be equal to 1. Now, what you'll notice is that all of these terms, they're all squared. So when I expand it, which will be the next thing to do, I'm going to end up with an ax and a by, because we're multiplying all the items. They'll be squared. I can subtract over the remaining items, and it'll be 1 minus something. And if you do 1 minus something positive, you know that the result must be less than or equal to 1, depending on if that something was 0 or greater than 0. So that's kind of the thinking that got me to this result. So let's just work through it. So let's just expand this left hand side. So we'll get x squared times a squared plus x squared times b squared plus y squared times a squared plus y squared times b squared is equal to 1. And what I might do, we've got all these terms squared, so I'll just write them in brackets with just the square outside the brackets, just so that we end up with an ax and a by. And I'll just change the order again to make it line up to what is the result that we're dealing with. So x squared a squared would be ax all squared. X squared b squared would be bx all squared. This would be ay all squared. And this would be by all squared equals 1. And there's our ax and there's our by. So what I'll do is I'll just keep these two items on the left hand side, this one and this one, so that we get closer to here. So we'll get ax squared plus by squared is equal to 1 minus bx squared minus ay squared. And now what I want to do is get a perfect square here so that I can end up just writing ax plus by all squared, and then we'll end up kind of being able to convert that to an absolute value without too much trouble. So what I need here is a 2ax by, so that I can do first one squared plus twice the product plus the last one squared. So if I'm going to add that on this side, I have to add it on this side too. So we'll do ax squared plus 2ax by plus by squared is equal to 1 minus bx squared minus ay squared, and then I have to add this as well, so plus 2ax by. That way I haven't changed anything. Okay, now on the left hand side I can write this as ax plus by all squared, since that would be the first one squared plus twice the product plus the last one squared. And that's going to be equal to, and what I'll do, I need to be really careful with my minuses here, but if I can say that that is 1 minus in brackets, and I can put our maybe I'll put the ay squared first, so ay squared, and then minus 2, and this is ax by, the order doesn't matter, but to make it really clear I'll say ay bx plus the bx all squared. So hopefully you see, if I put this minus through, we'd get back here, we get the minus ay squared, the plus 2ax by or ay bx, and then the minus bx squared. So I haven't changed anything here. Just got to be really careful with your minuses. But now what hopefully you notice is this is a difference of two squares. So this will be equal to 1 minus ay minus bx all squared. Since you get ay squared minus twice the product plus bx squared. And this here, because it's something squared, must also be greater than or equal to 0. So 1 minus something greater than or equal to 0 must be less than or equal to 1, since ay minus bx squared must be greater than or equal to 0. And that's kind of the hard work done, because now what we can say is, therefore, if I take the square root of both sides, the square root of ax plus by squared will be less than or equal to the square root of 1. Square root of something squared is the definition of the absolute value, so therefore we'll get the absolute value of ax plus by is less than or equal to the square root of 1 is still just 1, as required.
Panic boom!
Yeah, so that's how I tackled that question. I think it was fairly tricky. I mean, the magic moment was here, right at the beginning. Just, I guess, making use of the fact that 1 times 1 is 1. And I think what took me so long to get there was I was still in the headspace of part A. So part A required the triangle inequality. It's something that you naturally go to when you see an absolute value and an inequality sign. So I was staying on the triangle inequality, but you may notice here we haven't used that at all. It's just been kind of actually more basic algebra. In the end, it's kind of basic expansion of brackets, an appreciation of perfect squares, sum of two things all squared and the difference of two things all squared. And then we kind of got there. So hopefully that's all made sense. If you did find the explanation helpful, please be sure to give it a like. And if you're someone who wants to keep their finger on the pulse with the kinds of questions that other students are struggling with, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can stay in the loop. Alright, tick boom.